And this is why I wouldn't buy the Grenadier. Oh, I just upset half your audience, John. I'm very impressed with, the Grenadier is going to be the four-wheel driver's vehicle. The footrest, in my opinion, is a storm in a teacup.
That didn't happen in my car.
No,
so
it didn't at all.
I've got a problem in my car.
Yep.
G'day, John Canny here. Been away with Mad Matt, four-wheel drive expert, trainer, educator, and all-round good bloke. So while I was away with Matt, he was keen to have a drive of my Grenadier, and he hadn't driven one before. So that sounded like fun, and it was good to be able to get an opinion from somebody fresh in the car, but also someone with years and years of experience of driving four-wheel drives. So we didn't do any real technical stuff. We were just on the beach and some bush tracks. We actually ran into a little bit of trouble on the beach. And this, I think, might have tainted Matt's opinion of the Grenadier at the time. Since sorted it out, but you need to watch this and find out what went wrong and what Matt thought of it. So, slightly controversial, as I said, but let's see what Matt thinks about my Grenadier. I'm here with Mad Matt. How are you, Matt?
Oh, I'm good,
Matt's
John.
been driving my Grenadier, his first drive.
Yeah, I know, mate.
So
You've spoiled me rotten.
Yeah, what do you think? That's my
What
question.
do I think? I could be tempted.
That's good.
There's one caveat to this. And this is why I wouldn't buy the Grenadier. I just don't like the look of them.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you either like the look or you don't like the look. And,
Yeah. Oh, I just upset half your audience, John.
That's
I'm
all right.
sorry.
They're all
Yeah.
Grenadier people that watch my channel. You know that, don't you?
No, they're not all. Because
No.
I watch your channel as well.
Thank you.
Now, yeah, look, the thing for me is, as a vehicle, I'm very impressed with a lot of it. I do think they didn't quite hit the benchmark that they intended to hit. And this sounds quite arrogant to say, but I think that they put out this statement, as I understand it, that, the Grenadier is going to be the four-wheel driver's vehicle. Well, I'm a four-wheel driver and this is missing the mark. Now, I might not be the best four-wheel driver out there. Maybe there's people that understand this stuff better than I do, but I think I've got enough experience to have an opinion on it. And there's basic four-wheel drive tools that I need as a driver that this doesn't have. Difflocks was a massive one. That was just mind-blowing, and we won't go into all of that. But the fact that we got into a situation, I'm like, perfect solution, let's try these Difflocks. Push the button, it would not engage. And I'm like, if you're stuck, that's when I need it to engage. Now, it's all well and good saying, oh, but you engage them beforehand. Yes, I agree with that, but you don't always get the privilege and the opportunity to engage beforehand. So you can't necessarily do that.
Yep. Okay, so as soon as I got back, I took my car down to Expedition HQ at the Gold Coast in Queensland, one of the leading dealers in the Sunshine Coast, and asked them to have a look at what might be the problem here. This is the process. Neutral first. So
Yep.
we're in neutral, then we go across to high and down to low.
Yep.
Right, so we've got that part of it right.
Yep.
Now we should be able to turn the diff locks on.
Absolutely.
Right, so
Push and hold rear first.
rear first, once. It
There
should
you go. Yeah. See there?
Yep.
You've got flashing lights and all that.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah,
So you'll
yeah.
see that that's all now telling you we're working. No, yours isn't working. No, you've got some sort of an issue, Jomo. No, yours is not engaging for some reason.
Okay, so this is really important because I've just been away with Mad Matt, four-wheel drive, and he was really disappointed in the fact that these diff locks wouldn't go in, and Rick is telling me that there is actually some sort of fault going on in this vehicle because they should lock in, and that's really good news in one respect.
Yeah.
Not so good for me, but it's good that these cars will engage the diff lock when you get into a situation. In other words, if you get unexpectedly into a situation where you are bogged and you need the diff lock, you can put it on. That's
Yeah.
correct, isn't
Yeah,
it?
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for that. Rick, we'll get it back here shortly and we'll get that dealt with.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so we're in a different car now and we're going to see what happens with the diff locks in a different car. So we've done the neutral, we've done the low. Okay, there she's in as soon as you take off straight away.
Yep.
That didn't happen in my car.
No,
so
it didn't at all.
I've got a problem in my car.
Yep.
Okay, so that's really good news for Grenadiers. Not so good for me, but thanks, Rick. We now.
But it's an easy fix for you. Don't worry, John.
That's all right.
I think that the other things, that the motor is beautiful. Like, it's really nice. The gearbox is amazing, so smooth. The only reason you know it's changed gears is that it is you hear it. You hardly even feel it. Well, that's really nice. The other thing, and this is kind of a silly little thing. I love the fact that up here on the gear indicator, it tells you exactly what gear you're in, no matter what drive mode you're in. So if you're in drive, it still tells you what gear ratio you're in. Not that it doesn't really matter, but I like it. Okay, it's just one of those things. As for the driving space, I love the Recaro seats. They're really comfy. I just feel snug in here. I feel really well supported. So when you're driving, I enjoy the view I get out of the vehicle. Like, for a vehicle with a fairly small windscreen space, I feel like I've got an excellent view out the front, but I was amazed at how much out the window view. So the A-pillar here feels relatively unrestrictive compared to the 200 series, and so I feel like I'm sort of got this big view out the front of the car, which I really like. It means, like, down here I can look out the window quite easily and actually see close to the front wheel. That is really cool for off-road. So there's a whole bunch of stuff which it's like, yeah, absolutely nailed it, love what you've done. And then there's just some critical stuff where I go, complete failed. Look, would I own one? That's probably the question to ask. I wouldn't be upset owning a vehicle like this, the little I've driven it. I think that if you wanted to buy a vehicle to keep forever, and I'm going to keep that vehicle for however long, until I die, sort of thing, I feel like this is a vehicle that can do that. Whereas other vehicles in the market, like say the BYD Shark that's just hit the market, different vehicle I get, but similar sort of space. Yeah, you don't buy that for a lifetime. Yeah, it might be a great vehicle, but I don't think it's got the caliber that this has. So, look, it's a cool vehicle. The other thing I do like is I like the look of all of this. I love the waterproof switching, or water resistant switching. I love the very tactile switching. It looks cool as. It's a great layout. Yeah, the other thought I had was, you often hop in a lot of the modern vehicles and you just feel like you know where you are, you know where all the switches will be. Oh, that'll be here, this will be there. It took me a little while to sort of get familiar with this vehicle, especially the BMW style shifter. I've driven a little bit now, I've got the feel of that, but that did take me sort of 10-15 minutes to sort of understand what I was doing there. It works really well, it's nice actually. So all in all, that's some thoughts. John, is that work for you, mate? Any questions?
Look, I guess the question I want to ask, which is, what did you think of the footrest?
Oh, the footrest. The footrest.
Well, you didn't mention it. Oh, there's flashes going off there.
We're actually in a photo shoot at the moment.
So if you're wondering what those people wandering around those flashes are...
Yeah, we're actually getting photographed. The footrest, I've said it since the moment I first sat in this vehicle at the Brisbane show a couple of years ago. The footrest, in my opinion, is a storm in a teacup. It is not a deal breaker by any stretch. I'm 6 foot tall. It is different to what we're used to. That's the thing. So it's just different. It's a different way of doing it. What it is good for, now I don't know if you do this when you're driving, but I left foot brake off-road pretty much the whole time, okay? And that gives you a lot of vehicle control in automatic vehicles, even manuals as well. The footrest is effectively the same height as the brake pedal, and what that means is that I can use a different, slightly modified technique where my foot is on the footrest and my big toe can operate the brake pedal and give me that modulation by rolling my foot. So I'm actually doing that now, not that you can see it on camera. So, because the brake pedal and the footrest are kind of the same height. So that's cool.
Yeah, well, that's great. So thanks for driving it, Matt, and thanks for your opinion. I've really had a great weekend here with you. But don't forget to check out Matt's channel, because he's a very experienced man and some great advice, and will help all of those, particularly those who are perhaps a bit newer to four-wheel driving and need a bit of advice on staying safe and looking after the environment out there. That's Matt's specialty, and I can tell you, he knows his stuff.
Oh, you're being very generous now.
So that was it. Hope you enjoyed that. I know that Matt enjoyed the car and appreciated the car. So it's always fun to get opinions from everybody. And he's a great guy, Matt. I really enjoy his company, and he is one of the most knowledgeable guys going around. That's for sure. Okay, please subscribe. It helps with the distribution of this channel. That's all. And I really appreciate it if you would. Thank you.